What if the most heartbreaking death in Outlander history never actually happened? What if Faith Fraser, Claire's firstborn daughter, whom we've mourned for years, wasn't truly gone? That bombshell twist at the end of Season 7 flipped everything upside down. Suddenly, we're questioning everything we thought we knew. The pain Claire carried, the choices she made, the bond between her and Jamie, it's all about to be tested in ways we never imagined. And now, going into Season 8, the mystery of Faith's fate is colliding with war, betrayal, and devastating loss. This isn't just a twist, it's a rewriting of Outlander's emotional DNA. And if the rumors are even half true, the ending will absolutely destroy us. We've seen Claire go through a lot. She's lost patience, friends, her home. She's even been separated from Jamie for 20 years. But none of those wounds ever cut as deep as losing her daughter. Faith's death in Paris was a moment that haunted not just Claire, but all of us. It was tragic, it was final. Or so we believed. And now, with this massive reveal that Faith may actually be alive, Season 8 is heading straight into uncharted, emotional territory. This isn't just about a character returning, it's about a core piece of Claire's heart being ripped open again. And the craziest part? There's no roadmap for what comes next. Even Diana Gabaldon's books never prepared us for this. The writers have officially gone off the beaten path, and we are now in unfiltered, unpredictable Outlander territory. We don't yet know how Faith survived. Theories are swirling. Was she taken? Hidden? Did someone from the future interfere? And if so, why has it taken so long for her to return? What we do know is that her comeback isn't just a cheap twist, it's loaded with consequences. This reveal challenges Claire's identity as a mother, as a healer, and as a time traveler, who has lived with grief for decades. And let's not forget Jamie. How does a father react to a child he never got to meet suddenly being alive? Their relationship has always been rock solid, but something this earth-shattering could shake even the strongest of bonds. Because this isn't just about joy or closure. This is about guilt, about regret, about choices that can't be undone. What's even more heartbreaking is the way this storyline could affect Brianna. For her entire life, she's been the miracle baby, the daughter Claire raised with the memory of Faith always in the background. Now she's no longer the only child. And let's be honest, Outlander doesn't do simple family reunions. This will get messy. Resentment, jealousy, confusion, they're all inevitable. And as always, danger is never far away. If Faith's return is real, someone had to keep her hidden. And people don't hide babies without dark reasons. That part of the story hasn't been revealed yet, but fans are already guessing everything. From secret societies to time travel conspiracies. Catriona Balfe called the twist an emotional earthquake. And honestly, there's no better way to put it. This changes the direction of Season 8 entirely. What started as a Revolutionary War survival arc is now tangled in personal tragedy, long-buried secrets, and the supernatural. That's right, because if Faith lived, there's a strong chance magic or time travel played a role. And that brings us to Claire's own abilities. For years, the books have hinted that Claire is more than just a woman out of time. Some believe she has healing powers that go beyond science. And now, with Faith's story being rewritten, it feels like the show is finally embracing that idea. But don't expect this to come with celebration. Faith's return isn't just a miracle, it's also a reckoning. Claire will be forced to look at every decision she made since Paris, every time she moved forward, every time she tried to let go. And in doing so, the show is going to peel back every emotional scar she's ever carried. This will hurt. This will tear through us like a storm. And worst of all, we're not even close to the true devastation that Season 8 is preparing to unleash. While the return of Faith Fraser has thrown the fandom into emotional chaos, there's another silence in Season 8 that's leaving a different kind of wound. Jenny Fraser Murray, Jamie's fierce, loyal, no-nonsense sister, is not returning in the final season. And let's be honest, that news hurts. Jenny has been there since the beginning. She's not just Jamie's sister, she's his anchor, his reminder of home, his link to everything he left behind in Scotland. And as Outlander prepares to close its story with 10 final episodes, fans can't help but feel something critical is missing. Jenny's absence isn't just about screen time. It's about erasing a part of Jamie's emotional journey. It's about cutting out the soul of Lallybroch in a season where everything else is collapsing. The reason behind Jenny's disappearance isn't scandalous, it's logistical. Co-showrunner Matthew B. Roberts said the writers had to make brutal choices. With only 10 episodes to wrap up years of tangled plots, characters who weren't directly impacting Jamie and Claire's central arc had to be sidelined. And sure, on paper that might make sense, but emotionally, it feels like a betrayal. Jenny wasn't just a side character. She was a mother, a protector, a warrior in her own right. Her scenes were always electric, full of truth, pain, and brutal honesty. No one else could call Jamie out like she could. No one else could balance Claire's intellect with raw Highland spirit the way Jenny did. Her dynamic grounded the show, and now, in the most emotionally volatile season yet, we'll be without her. It's a decision that many fans see as a missed opportunity. Because Jenny's arc in the books doesn't end where the show left her, she's still alive, still fighting, still part of the larger Outlander universe. In fact, she plays a crucial role in supporting Ian and navigating the family through the darkest moments of the war. Her wisdom, her grief, her ability to survive, these were supposed to matter. And with the show's ending now diverging from the books, we won't even have her literary arc to fall back on. Instead, we're left wondering what could have been. Could she have helped Jamie face the truth about faith? Could she have offered Claire the kind of empathy only a mother could understand? Could she have saved Ian from the growing storm of guilt and violence that's been eating him alive? We'll never know. What makes Jenny's absence even more painful is how deeply it connects to the theme of legacy. As the Revolutionary War intensifies, Jamie is preparing to leave something behind, not just a name or a piece of land, but a family. And Jenny is a pillar of that legacy. She helped raise him, she helped raise Ian, she was there for Brianna when Claire returned. Her voice matters in these final decisions, and now it won't be heard. The show is asking us to say goodbye to characters we love, to brace for heartbreak, and yet one of the most important voices has already been cut out of the conversation. It's like saying farewell to home without ever going back to say goodbye. But if Outlander has taught us anything, it's that absence doesn't always mean silence. Fans are already expressing their frustration online. Social media is full of posts demanding justice for Jenny. Some are calling for deleted scenes, flashbacks, even voiceover letters, anything to acknowledge her absence in a meaningful way. Because this isn't just about screen time, it's about closure. If this truly is the end of Jamie Fraser's journey, then his sister deserves more than an off-screen explanation. She deserves to be part of the farewell. And while we might not see Jenny, her spirit will linger. In Jamie's choices, in Ian's heartbreak, in every memory of Lallybroch that flickers through the final battles. Her absence might have been a production decision, but for the fans, it's personal. It's one more reminder that Outlander doesn't just deal in time travel, it deals in loss. And just like Faith's return shattered our hearts open, Jenny's absence quietly breaks them again. Because in a story about family, the people who aren't there matter just as much as the ones who are. As Outlander marches toward its finale, there's one looming shadow we can no longer ignore: the fate of Jamie Fraser. The Revolutionary War is no longer just historical backdrop. It's now at the heart of the story, and every step Jamie takes into battle feels like a countdown, a ticking clock. Because if the show follows even fragments of Diana Gabaldon's book, Go, Tell the Bees That I Am Gone, Jamie is heading straight toward a brutal confrontation with death. And not just any death, a slow, harrowing, almost spiritual death that may be the most painful chapter yet. In the books, Jamie is gravely injured in battle, left for dead, his body broken. And for the first time, even Claire's medical genius isn't enough. That image alone, the strongest man in Outlander, bloodied and barely breathing, has haunted fans for years. But now, in Season 8, it's more than just a fear. It's a promise. There's a terrifying weight to the way the show has been setting this up. Jamie has already started talking about legacy, about the world he'll leave behind, about what kind of man he has been. That's not random. That's narrative foreshadowing, and it's loud. Every glance between him and Claire, every word he shares with Ian, every moment of quiet reflection, it all feels like a man preparing for the end. But here's where it gets even more devastating. If Jamie does die, or comes close, this won't be just another heartbreak. It will be the end of an era, the loss of the beating heart of Outlander. And yet, that might be exactly what the story needs. Because Jaime's potential death isn't just about sorrow, it's about transformation. For years, fans have debated whether Jaime will die in Claire's arms, whether time travel will somehow give her a chance to save him, whether magic will interfere now that Faith's return has cracked the world wide open. Some even believe Jaime's spirit is meant to be the ghost that watches Claire in the very first episode of Season 1. Could this be how it all connects? Could his death finally complete the time loop and answer the longest-standing mystery of the show? If so, the final scenes of Season 8 may not just be emotional, they may be revelatory. Because everything, from the Highlands to the colonies, from Culloden to Paris, has been leading to this. And it's not just Jaime at risk. This war is bigger than anything we've seen before. It's raw, chaotic, and personal. Jaime, Claire, Ian, William, they're all trapped inside it. All on different sides with impossible decisions to make. William's role is particularly heartbreaking. As Jaime's secret son, he's now a British soldier caught in a battle that may pit him against his own blood. Actor Charles Van der Vaart has already teased that William's identity crisis will explode this season. He's broken, he's angry, and he doesn't know the full truth. But if he finds himself on the battlefield face-to-face with Jaime, the consequences could be deadly. Imagine Jaime forced to fight his own son, or worse, die without ever revealing who he truly is. That's the kind of storytelling Outlander excels at: gut-wrenching, layered, and cruelly poetic. Claire, meanwhile, will be pushed further than ever. The woman who once saved Jaime with herbs and sheer willpower will now face wounds even she can't heal. And that's where things start to shift. Because if Claire can't save Jaime with science, what does she have left? The answer may lie in the supernatural. For years, Outlander has toyed with the idea that Claire is more than just a time traveler. Diana Gabaldon herself has hinted that Claire's gifts may be rooted in something deeper, something magical. And with Faith possibly alive, with her grandchildren showing signs of inherited power, and with timelines bending, we're closer than ever to the show revealing Claire's true nature. Maybe, just maybe, she won't be able to heal Jaime the way she used to, but she might be able to do something else. Something extraordinary. But at what cost? Because if Outlander has taught us anything, it's this: every miracle has a price. And this one might cost Claire everything: her health, her peace, her future. The showrunners aren't hiding it either. Sam Hugan described the ending as epic, emotional, and completely unexpected. And those words send chills. Because what could be more unexpected than Jaime finally dying and somehow living on in another form? Or Claire making the ultimate sacrifice to bring him back, only to lose herself in the process? These aren't just theories. They're very real possibilities. The kind of conclusions that don't just end a story, they echo through it forever. While war rages and Jaime's fate teeters on the edge, there's another part of Outlander quietly unfolding. One that might hold the key to everything that comes next. Brianna and Roger, once sidelined in earlier seasons, now carry the weight of the future in ways no one expected. After surviving kidnappings, heartbreak, near-death experiences, and the trauma of being torn between centuries, their story has never been simple. But in Season 8, things shift. Their journey is no longer about survival. It's about legacy, power, and preparing the next generation for a world where time is no longer linear and danger can come from any direction. Because their children, Jemmy and Mandy, aren't just part of the story. They are the story. In the past, the focus has always been on Claire as the time traveler, the anomaly. But now, it's clear that something deeper is happening across generations. Jemmy and Mandy have inherited something strange, something powerful. The signs have been subtle, but undeniable. They sense things, hear things, know things they shouldn't. And as Roger and Brianna fight to give them a normal life, it becomes clear that normal is no longer an option. These children are part of a bigger design, one that's directly tied to Claire, to the stones, to the magic no one truly understands. And this terrifies Roger, because as a father, he's not just battling history anymore. He's battling destiny. Season 8 promises to take a hard look at what it means to be gifted in a world built on blood and sacrifice. While Jamie and Claire face the final war, Brianna and Roger must face the terrifying truth that their children might be called to something far darker, something connected to Faith's shocking return. What if these kids are more than time travelers? What if their bloodline holds the secret to bending time itself? It's not a stretch. Diana. Gabaldon has long hinted that time travel in Outlander is a genetic trait, and now the show seems ready to expand that mythology. The final season could very well introduce new layers of supernatural consequence, clues that Mandy and Jemmy's abilities may trigger a new cycle or a new story entirely. But here's the most heartbreaking part. Roger and Brianna may not get to stay with them. With chaos unfolding in every century and battles pulling people in different directions, there's a very real possibility that Brianna and Roger will be forced to make an unthinkable decision: stay in the past and risk everything, or go forward to protect their children, knowing they may never see their family again. It's an impossible choice. And in the Outlander universe, no choice comes without consequences. We've already seen what it did to Claire and Jamie when Brianna left once. Now imagine that pain tenfold, with the stakes being not just family, but the entire timeline itself. There's also the lingering mystery of Jemmy and the map. Remember those cryptic symbols he started drawing? The ones that seemed like nonsense at first, but matched ancient markings near the stones? Some fans believe Jemmy has already unlocked a kind of understanding about time travel that surpasses even Claire. And Mandy, who hears voices and sees glimpses of things that haven't happened yet, might be even more powerful. These aren't just plot devices. These are setups, the kind of setups that don't just end a show. They launch a universe. Could we be witnessing the seeds of a next-generation spin-off, one where Mandy and Jemmy are forced to journey across centuries to undo the damage left behind? It's a chilling but exciting possibility. Still, the emotional core of their story isn't the magic. It's the love. Brianna and Roger have become a rock-solid unit, not because their love is perfect, but because they've fought for it through fire. Every trauma, every loss, every moment of disbelief has made them stronger. But Season 8 may finally push them to their breaking point. Sophie Skelton already teased that this season will mess you up emotionally, and Richard Rankin said it's the most personal arc yet for his character. That says everything. Because if Roger, once the logical Oxford historian, is now willing to believe in magic, fight for his children, and face an unknown future, then we're in truly uncharted waters. As the final episodes unfold, Brianna and Roger's story won't just be a side plot, it will be a parallel to Jamie and Claire's. Another love story tested by time, by sacrifice, and by the brutal cost of choosing family over fate. And if the show ends with Jamie and Claire facing death, maybe the real ending isn't death at all. Maybe it's rebirth through their grandchildren, through a legacy that refuses to be erased, through children who may be the only ones capable of healing what time has broken. If there's one thing Outlander has always done brilliantly, it's this: make us believe that love can defy time, that history, war, pain, even death can't truly separate those who are meant to be together. But now, with Season 8 on the horizon, all of that is about to be tested. And nothing has shaken the foundation of this story more than the shocking revelation that Faith Fraser, the daughter Claire lost in Season 2, is possibly alive. That single twist has shifted the entire weight of Outlander's final act. Because if Faith didn't die, then everything we thought we knew about fate, destiny, and time itself is about to explode. Let's step back for a moment. Faith's death was one of the most traumatic events in Claire's life. It shaped her, scarred her, and drove a wedge between her and Jamie that took years to heal. So, to even suggest that Faith might be alive, somewhere, somehow, isn't just a narrative gamble. It's a rewrite of emotional history. But it makes sense now. The hints have been subtle but persistent. Whispers of timelines that don't match, characters feeling off, moments that seemed like glitches in the emotional arc. Katrina Balfe even said this twist opens up a whole other world of questions. And that world might be where Faith has been all along. The prevailing theory is that Faith was taken, perhaps by someone with knowledge of the stones, or even by a future traveler trying to fix something. The child may have been spirited away to a different time to protect her. Maybe she was saved at the last second and whisked through the stones. Maybe her death was an illusion, meant to spare Claire pain in the short term, but ultimately setting the stage for a reunion that will rewrite her entire life. That kind of narrative isn't just poetic, it's cataclysmic, because it means Outlander has been building to this moment since season 2. The return of a daughter long believed, lost, the healing of the deepest wound, and the final test of Claire's heart. But let's be honest, this can't be a simple reunion. Not in Outlander. Faith's return, if it truly happens, won't just be a joyful miracle. It will come with unbearable cost. Perhaps she's been raised by strangers. Perhaps she doesn't even know who Claire and Jamie are. Or worse, perhaps she does know and resents them for abandoning her. The emotional complexity of such a moment would destroy any easy, happy ending, and that's why this reveal feels so dangerous and so necessary. Because if Claire has to choose between saving Jamie on the battlefield and reclaiming her lost daughter, we